The time has finally arrived. Many people believed that it was a myth, but no, it finally came. Attack on Titan Season 2 is here to bless the anime world once again.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
Now let's get straight to it. The question that many want to ask: is this season as good as the first one? Well, of course the hype will go down for obvious reasons. One, because, well, it's a fucking 4-year gap, and it doesn't really matter how popular the series is, 4 years in between seasons isn't exactly the best marketing strategy. And two, well, because most people have just went on to read the manga. Now, this series being shortened to 12 episodes definitely hurt my soul, but that does not mean it didn't bring the greatness within each episode. Unless you've reread the manga recently, which I haven't, there's a lot of material that's probably slipped your mind. Now, I'll let y'all know that the anime covered to about chapter 50, and if you don't know, chapter 50 of Attack on Titan came out in October of 2013. This is material from a while back. Now, this show did a great job of making it seem like a continuation rather than a completely new season, because they really just picked up right where they left off. But even though it looked like they picked up where they left off, you can really sense a shift in focus for this season, in particular with the supporting cast. Besides Mikasa, your main characters really took a back seat for this season. But with the reveals that we got this season, you can see why other characters had to get built up. Ymir and Krista, or should I say Historia, two characters that had little to zero focus at all in season 1, who are now recognized to be huge parts of the story here in season 2. We find out why they complement each other, seeing that Historia is of royal blood that was casted away, and that Ymir was a castaway that was taken in and treated like royal blood before being casted away again. Reiner and Bertolt. What can you say about them? Top 10 anime betrayals.
I was rooting for you! We were all rooting for you! How dare you! Learn something from this! You go to bed at night, you lay there, and you take responsibility for yourself! Because nobody's gonna take responsibility for you.
And even though most people have been spoiled by now to who the Armored Titan and the Colossal Titan were, it was still a sad scene to watch. That is, of course, right after they had probably the most casual reveal in anime history. It's kind of funny, because if we oversimplify what really all happened in season 2, you'll really notice how character driven this season was. For the most part, they find out that Titans have breached through Wall Maria, but when they search the walls to see where the Titans come from, they find no hole that they could have gotten through. So now they're trying to figure that out, and amidst the chaos, your friends Reiner and Bertolt are trying to steal Eren away to take them back to their homeland. Now, we don't know why, but they believe what they're doing right now, you know, all the mass murdering, is better off for humanity than trying to protect the people inside the walls. Now, I can't speak on this season without bringing up the Beast Titan, that mysterious hairy fucker that loves tossing things around. Now, we see him pretty often this season, but we don't really get any answers on who or what he is. We just know he's probably the most intelligent Titan that they've run across. Now let's compare a few things in terms of season 1 and season 2. Animation. You can definitely see that there is a little bit of slippage in terms of animation. They used a lot more CGI, and some scenes could get sloppy at times. But I still believe at the most important parts, that they kept it at the utmost quality. One thing that was probably a lot harder for them to do was probably the Colossal Titan. You didn't really think about it, but besides episode 1 of the very first season, he didn't really move much. In this season, he had a lot more movement to him, and to make him look slow and fluid is probably a lot harder thing than it would seem. But besides that, the 3D maneuver gear animation was still as good as ever. Now let's compare the fighting. I'm not going to sit here and say that the fighting in season 2 was on the same level as it was in season 1, because there was clearly less of it and a less focus in season 2 on the fighting aspect, but I do still think that it was up there. If we really want to get to it, I know the main comparison people probably want to make is Eren versus the female Titan and Eren versus the armored Titan. And honestly, I really feel it's a preference thing. But if we want to be real, Eren versus the female Titan was pretty much Annie knocking Eren around the whole time. It was pretty much an ass whoop. Now Eren versus the armored Titan, we actually see some bounce back from Eren. It was a very more strategic fight with moves that he had learned from training with Reiner, Bertolt, and Annie. What do I think? It's close. I would probably lean towards him in the female Titan fight Because I'll be honest, I love all-out brawls. If you told me you thought the one versus the Armor Titan was better, I wouldn't argue with you at all. As far as the music in Season 2, I thought it was pretty consistent with what it was in Season 1. Still had that constant epicness that fit right in with the fights and other big reveals. Now the opening, when you first hear it, you're thinking, it's pretty good, but I don't think it's as good as Season 1's first opening. And then about 3 or 4 episodes in, everyone's like, and is it me, or did they take the music up like 10 notches for the very last episode? I think there were 3 or 4 tracks in the final episode alone where I said to myself, what the fuck? I need to figure out the names of these songs. Overall, Season 2 was greatness. Now, it may not seem that way, but we got a lot of answers to things. We got Historia and Ymir's past, and why they're very important characters to the story. We got the big reveal of Reiner and Bertolt. They even let us know why they wanted to kidnap Eren in the first place, revealing this new coordinate power that could control Titan. And yeah, being able to control Titans definitely would seem like a big deal. We also got actual confirmation that the Titans derive from humans. Now, even though we got answers, there are still questions to some things. There's still the huge mystery surrounding the Beast Titan, and to who and where he came from. We still don't know what it is that Reiner and Bertolt believe in that is so bad that they are willing to destroy the rest of humanity for it. Also, what the fuck is happening to Annie? I'm hoping we get some of those answers in Season 3, which is supposedly coming out next year. This season definitely revived my love for Attack on Titan, even as someone who has read the manga. Cause like I said, this is material we haven't seen since 2013, unless you've read it recently. Attack on Titan definitely deserves all the praise that it gets, which is why I'm awarding it with a grade of an A.